Awesome. We are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's stream. Sorry, I was a little tardy. Couldn't remember how to get to where I was needing to be. Well, a little shout out for who's in the chat. Who's in watching the stream. I'm gonna throw a little what's up in, and let's get some drinks on, and we'll start cooking some food. How's that sound, everybody? Ooh, Lush. Awesome, Jeff. Great beer. I go live. 2 people leave. Cool. Like it. How those ribs, Jeff? Smelling good? Hope so. Tonight we are drinking some Hogshead, a little chin wag. I love this beer almost as much as I love my son, so that says a lot. I guess we could say this stream is sponsored by Hogshead. NESBs are beers that just are underappreciated. So cheers, everybody. Hope everyone is surviving and staying sane in this. What up, Cy? Hogshead is like 29th and Sheridan in Denver, kind of by Sloan's Lake. It's like an all English pub. They do a lot of beers on cask, super tasty English stuff. I'm a huge fan. It's one of my favorite breweries in Denver area. It's such a good spot. The location is super chill. The beer is always solid. Really classic. Big fan. So, cheers, everybody. Who's cooking along? Anybody cooking along with us tonight? Or a little butter chicken action? Anybody getting on this with me? Or not? Cool. Losing viewers by the minute. Good time. So it's Cy and Jeff and Abby. Good. I'm going to see if I can get a little I went live thing right now out there on the old face hell. And yeah. We can have fun. We'll start going. One of these days I'll have a really good computer that I don't have, like I can do it all without having to do a lot of other stuff, but you know, that's still several years in the making. And posting to a yeah. I can't see everybody, I'm sorry. All right, we are posted. We are money. Let's do this. Oh, there's 7 people. Who else? Hey, Fred. How you doing, man? Thanks for joining the stream tonight. So, if you've been following the group at all, or any of my social medias aside of Twitter, because that's just where I go to spend time in hell, we're gonna do a little butter chicken tonight, because Indian food was requested last week, and I've never done this recipe, so I'm pretty excited. We're gonna kind of experiment and play around a little bit. Hopefully, we can have some fun, make some great food. I went with butter chicken, a little makhani, because that's my favorite thing to get. I love the flavors. I love the fat. I love the spice. I love just that tanginess from the yogurt. And what I'm making now is going to be lunch for me this week when I go to work, because I'm still deemed an essential business. It's the only place I go when I'm at my house, literally, is I go to work and I'm stay home because I don't want to get sick or make it worse. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about chicken. We're talking about ginger and what we can do with chicken skin when we are trimming our chicken. Another dish you're going to want to cook with the skin on, because the skin won't render out really well, and it's be kind of that rubbery, gross mouth texture of chicken skin. But we're going to make some chicken skin chips because they make great snacks while you're cooking food. And then we'll talk about next week. Justin threw on the group a little chopped request. I'm down for that. I think I have an idea of how I'm going to set it up. So I'm going to probably be posting some polls and some stuff tomorrow on the old Facebook to get some response and get some votes on what we want to do for next week, because I want to What up, Terry and Shauna? Thanks for joining. I want to do some something fun, something challenging. I'll leave it to you guys what I'm going to be cooking next week, but we're going to make it kind of like different tiers. We'll do like a protein boat and a vegetable boat and a starch boat, and we'll kind of see how it goes. So look for those and vote on them with the intent of hopefully coming and watching. And from there, yeah, I think we're going to just kind of vamp a few more minutes and drink some beers and go from there. Addie, what are you drinking? You drinking some more girl beer, or you moved on to something else? Side, what you drinking? Swartz, are you drinking tequila tonight, or what? And Fred, what are you drinking, Fred? Yours. Water for now. Cool. Cool. Appreciate. Respect. Every. Ooh, a little brown liquor. Nice. Brown liquor is the only way to go, Terry. We will agree on this every day. I'm a High West rye. Well, double rye is my go-to all the time. Are you having a good Saturday? I know Jeff's smoking some ribs. Oh, frames, so good, so good. Jeff meet Fred. Fred meet Jeff. Jeff lives in Portland. Gets easy access to all great things like Freem and other awesome, amazing beers. So, yes, I wish the camera would stay focused on me and the microwave. Good times. Yeah, great fucking beer. Just great beer. A couple years ago when we were stewarding at GABF, they had that Riesling American Wild. Oh, that beer was so good. Oh, we're down to 6 people. Cool. Well, I'm gonna get going here because we're about 7 minutes into the stream. So, ooh, Ex Novo, also good. I don't have a lot of experience with Canadian whiskey, Terry. We'll have to explore when we are not self-quarantined. All right, so I'm gonna cook. Hope if you're cooking along, cool, and if you're not cooking along, well, you're not cooking along. And I hopefully we'll make this later and throw some, I don't know, something out into the Facebook group or something. Tag me on Instagram or just send me a text. I don't really care. Email. I love to see what you're doing if you're making this at all and how what your results were like and if this helped you guys out at all. So let me know. So as always, I'm going to try to set the camera so you can kind of see what I'm doing. You won't see me as much, but that's fine. I keep looking at the screen, not at the camera. So got to work on that. And we'll go from there. So I've already marinated my chicken. We're going to tilt down. So I marinated my chicken earlier today. If anybody really wants, we can go over a chicken butchery in another episode. I'm cool with that. I feel like it's an added step for right now and kind of where I'm at with the space. So I got 2. I went with 2 because I don't need the full 6 servings because this is just going to feed me for lunch this week. So I have 2 bone-in thighs marinated in the yogurt, the turmeric, garam masala, fresh toasted and ground cumin. I used a mortar and pestle. If you don't have one, I really highly recommend it, or invest in a spice grinder, coffee grinder that you don't want to ever use coffee in because your coffee will taste like whatever was in here last. But this is usually the best way. A lot of good recommendations on the web. I think marble or granite is your best bet. They're sturdy. They hold up really well. It's on you. I will look at America's Test Kitchen has some good reviews on stuff. I think Alton Brown did a couple things that are really good. So just, or just do a general Google search, whatever sounds the best to you. So marinated all those things. So I fresh toasted that spice, and then I ground it up in the mortar and pestle, mix it up with the lemon juice and yogurt, and I let it sit. It's been sitting for like 6 hours now. You can go as much as a day. I wouldn't go much more than a day because you're looking at getting a little too over brined, essentially is what we're creating here. And you'll get kind of almost like a tough aspect to the chicken. So not a huge recommendation on that, but experiment, have fun with it. And then let me know where you're at. So I'm gonna go a bit more down here, and we are gonna get our onion and let's see, onions, and then garlic, ginger, and cumin. And we're gonna get that into my cast iron. I'm using a cast iron tonight so that everyone hopefully can see into the pot the best. Back to here we go. That's how I was cut onions last week. I like to take the ends off. I like to take all the green out of my onion because I don't like reproducing onions. I think they're bitter. I don't like reproducing garlic for the exact same reason. I think it's too bitter. I'm also leaving the root in because I'm going to dice this. So I want to hold everything together so that I don't, well, this makes it safer for me. And I don't like cutting myself. It's not fun, even a little bit. I have to say, working solo in my kitchen at Woodward right now really prepares yourself to talk on stream because I do a lot of talking to myself at work now. So talking to chat works out just about the same for me. So I'm going to do about a medium dice. Medium dice is about a half inch by a half inch square is what we're looking for. I sharpened my knife this last week, so we're nice and toasty on that. Got my onion oil, get my onion diced. I'm playing copyright-free music for anybody who was on the thread last week. Andy brought up a pretty good point that YouTube will go through, and if they catch you listening to music that is under copyright, they will mute all those points of the stream. I don't really think I'm at a point where I need to worry about my stream being muted, but I'd rather not risk it so that if anybody wants to go back and watch or learn or whatnot, I don't want to provide that opportunity for them. So I got a little bit of butter over a preheated medium pan, and then a little bit of neutral oil. Good stuff. Yeah, that's a really good point, Terry. I like that. That's usually by Fridays when I start talking back to myself, but that's because it's been 5 days of just me in the kitchen, so we do what we can. So I'm making my onions in here. Yeah, my butter isn't fully melted. I know that it will melt out once as it cooks. I'm not as concerned about that because I have enough heat in the pan to get this, and then it allows me a little bit of time to get the rest of the stuff processed. So I have my garlic, butter and oil. So the oil helps prevent the butter from burning. It raises the smoke temperature a little bit and insulates the milk solids. That's what burns. Also, the dish is buttered chicken, so you want that the butter adds a little bit of that rich fat that will help carry through the whole dish. So pre-peeled my garlic. Hopefully, if you can't see, say in chat or forever hold your peace or whatever. Taking my ends off, taking my innards out. Talked about this last week on stream, but I don't like the bitterness from the thingy. I've already forgot the name of it because it's Saturday and I'm tired. Had a good night last night on Happy Hour. For those of you who are all there, thank you for coming. Had a lot of fun. Really value and enjoy those times spent with you guys. It's always fun. The germ. It's called the germ. Haha. So you answered my question. See, this is Terry. This is what you're talking about. I'm answering myself. It's good stuff. Turn my heat up a little bit so we can get going. And just gonna, at this point, I like to, with my garlic, I get to about here. I think we talked about this last week, but then I work with the edge and the edge of the blade, and I kind of smash it. I'm releasing both of the oils at this point. So garlic has 2 essential oils. a spicy and a sweet. And when you do the crush and the chop, this chopping just releases that spiciness when you get that really like sharp, spicy garlic. But then when we crush it, we break the membrane, the cell walls the other way, we get that sweet you get from roasted garlic that just tastes so good. Please don't use any garlic press or buy that pre-jarred in whatever hell pit that is shelf-stable garlic. The flavor is just not the same as buying fresh garlic. It just tastes like death and ass, and I don't recommend it. But also, it's just you never know what you're going to get out of it. Like you can easily get a little bit of botulism, or I just don't recommend it. It's just not good stuff. So stirring, got my butter, got my onions, a little garlic. So ginger, put this in recipe. I'm gonna take my whole ginger like this, and then I'm gonna take a spoon like this, and I'm going to use a spoon to peel it because you just take the skin off the ginger without taking a lot of the ginger off the ginger. And I don't like losing the ginger because ginger is great. This is one of the best smells ever. Like peeling ginger like this, or just peeling ginger and chopping ginger and fresh ginger. It's such a fresh, vibrant, like amazing smell. It's just, it's a little intoxicating. I'm a big fan. And then you can use the edge of the spoon to grab like in those crevices and little nooks and crannies on our ginger. We can make sure we get all that skin off. I'm gonna probably cut that end off and this end off because it's a little rough, and I'm not a big fan. So we're gonna do that. Take our stuff off here, and then as we're cooking, I'm gonna take this. Is called a microplane. It says microplane. This is like a wood rasp. Those who do a lot of work in the old wood industry, that's what this turned into, or was originated from. This is more of like a start off as we can grate Parmesan really light and feathery on top of our pasta dishes with this, and now it's ubiquitous for grinding a lot of stuff: nutmeg, ginger, garlic. They make a variety of great sizes. You can get a box grater of this. Huge fan. So we're gonna take our ginger, we're gonna right over our pot, and we're just gonna grate. It's just like chopping without chopping, like that fine mince, and it kind of looks like that. It's super fine, and then you can just tap the end on the edge of the pot and releases right into your pan. And you'll see it breaks up the fibers because ginger is incredibly fibrous, and no one likes that like stringy texture in food at all. Like at least I don't recommend it. It's not one of the 5 textures and flavors that we like that we talked about last week at all. I'm probably going a little aggressive with the ginger, but I really like ginger. It's a nice flavor. It's good times. The microplane will take part of your thumb off if you're not careful. So be wary of that, I guess. Starting to get some color, starting to get some good smells, all kinds of good things going on. We can hopefully see all of this stuff happening. Type awesome and smells good in the chat if you're in on that. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt now, just to help start, like we talked about last week, start releasing those, just breaking down cell walls, releasing that liquid, enhancing that flavor. There's a drinking game attached to this show. You should tell me. I will continue to play it. I just think about drinking every time I say it's a thing. And then we're gonna add a little bit of cumin. Have just a little bit of cumin seed. I usually buy my cumin as whole seeds instead of ground, because ground you don't know when it was ground last. You don't know when it was, like any of that process. Is it 100% cumin, or is it just like whatever filler random shit? I'm not a big fan. So we're gonna add just a little bit. The recipe calls for what, a tablespoon of seeds. Since I've cut this down to by about a third. I mean, that's a good call, Mark. Thanks for joining me, Mark. Hi, Olenek fam. Hope you guys are enjoying all of that. Also, yes, you should just drink every time I talk about stuff. You just drink whenever I say anything, really. So put cumin in. It's going to toast. Your house is going to smell like cumin. It's going to smell like ginger and garlic. Hopefully, if you're doing this along, some of you might be, you'll have a lot of great smells going on in the house. Not going to turn the fan on because A, no one can hear me over it, and B, I want to enjoy it and smoke the rest of my family out. While this is cooking a little bit, I'm going to turn this pot pan on medium, low, and pretty soon we'll start making some chicken skin chips to munch on while we're going through stuff. This is starting to cook up pretty nicely. I am going to take my pre-washed tomato. The recipe calls for 2. I'm going to go for 1. I got a Roma today because Romas generally are a little bit easier to find, more ripe. They are cheaper, and that's the big part of it. I referenced you could also buy canned tomatoes in a pinch, or if you're in time collection of food at the grocery store, you just can't find anything. Those grocery stores out of every single thing anymore. Canned tomatoes works really well. I like the fire roasted. I think it adds a little more unique flavor, but buying whole tomatoes is usually your best bet, because if you buy a pre-diced tomato in a can, you're going to get citric acid and it will be a really tough product. Just can't recommend that even a little bit. So I'm going to get my tomato dice. I'm going to do just like a rough chop. I'm going to cut this one into like three planks, and then take it down to a good medium little dice. Took the stem end out. I'm not worried about the flour end because I just don't care that much. I'm going to go right into the pot. Turn it down just a little bit. Take my chili. I said Serrano. Anything really that you like, whatever your heat tolerance is. If you like a spicier food, by all means, hit a Fresno. Mix in some other spicier chilies to it. I'm gonna go with the jalapeno because that's what I had, and it needs to be used up. So I'm just gonna take some good. I'm gonna go with Moons because I'm gonna cook with these, and then I'm going to pull them out when I eat them. I don't plan on eating chilies because I like spice. I don't like spice that much. And at this point, you'd add a cinnamon stick. I don't think I have cinnamon sticks. I think I have cinnamon. Give me a second. Chat, coming. Cinnamon stick into the pot. We're gonna stir this around. Cinnamon has a really nice depth and flavor. It's not just a sweet spice. I like that cinnamon adds that nice savory note. You get it in Indian cooking, you get it in Jamaican cooking, Caribbean food. That spicy, sweet, what we consider a baking spice, goes really well as a savory spice, adding that another level. Big fan on that. Recommend exploring new cuisines if you. This is a good time to do it, because what else do you have to do if you're not working? You're just hanging out and cooking at home. Try new things. We're gonna hopefully force me to try new things next week. I'm excited for Chopped Kruger edition. I don't know. Somebody who's more clever than me come up with a name and put it in Facebook or in the chat, and we'll come up with that. So this is starting to smell pretty awesome. I'm just gonna let it cook a little bit longer. In the meantime, we're gonna take our tweezers and we're gonna go it over. I recommend using the nonstick. If you like a nice little 8-inch egg pan, works great for the chicken skin chips. I took my thighs off my whole chicken earlier today and I pulled the skin off. And what we'll do is we'll go right into our pan. You should be able to see. Yeah, you can see. Spread that chicken skin out. Make sure it's pretty flat. You could, if you were really like feeling like really ambitious and you wanted to work hard, you could scrape the fat from the inside off of the skin. I was not feeling that way. I had other stuff going on this morning. And we're just gonna let it cook. Really no oil because there's plenty of fat in the chicken skin. Well, let's let that go. Let it cook off for a while and it's gonna crisp up and be a really wonderful little snack. If you like schmaltz, chicken fat, chicken skin, any of those things. So have some nice color, have some good smells. I like where I'm at with this. So I'm gonna go in with our chicken. So we have our chicken that's marinated. Oh, cool. I'm glad I can entertain your daughters, Adam. We have our chicken thighs and the marinade. We're gonna go all in with all of it. With the marinade, the chicken thighs, and the chicken. That's the thing I just said. You want as much as everything as you can get, because it's all just going to be sauce and flavor later on. Promise. So we're going to let this cook for a little bit. We're going to start kind of caramelizing a little bit of the yogurt, letting things kind of loosen up because it's in the fridge all day. I don't recommend pulling this out and letting it sit. I don't like letting chicken just kind of hang out and sit like if you're pulling a steak out to temp out or anything. It just doesn't seem good. No, I don't recommend that. Okay, so pull it out, let it go for just a few minutes. We're going to kind of cook a little bit of that yogurt. We'll see a little bit of the fat starting to separate a little bit. So when cooking chicken, I recommend going with a spoon at the beginning until the chicken's like, I would say mostly cooked, halfway cooked, and then switching to a different spoon because you risk a lot of transference of salmonella from the raw spoon and the raw cooking tongs or whatever to the cooked. So I will always switch. And even professionally, I will switch tongs, utensils, whatever, when I'm cooking chicken. Have something labeled separately for that raw item and something that's for the fresh or the cooked item, so that that cross contamination is never an issue because no one wants to get sick. So I like how that looks right there. We got a nice little color thing. You're starting to kind of seize up a little bit. We're gonna add a little bit of chicken stock. I have broth. I have chicken stock simmering right now, but I don't have enough for this, so maybe next week. So we're gonna bring this up to a simmer. We're gonna look at our chicken skins. We're gonna move it around, get it off that spot, and see kind of where we're at. We're getting some color. We're getting some rendering. We're bubbling up. I'm not worried about that. We're gonna flip it. It's all gonna work out. So we're gonna cook this probably a little more aggressively than it calls in the recipe, so we can get through the episode. I don't have nearly as much chicken in my pan as, say, if you were following the recipe to a full 6 pounds of chicken, or was it 3 pounds of chicken? There's still a lot of chicken thighs. This isn't quite a pound here, so you're looking at maybe 6 thighs, depending on the size of the thighs you're buying. Get all this kind of start. As the yogurt warms up, it will start to emulsify into the chicken stock, and everybody will be happy. Continue to drink. It's funny that most royalty-free music songs are EDM. Just fun fact I found out today looking for something to listen to for this or have on in the background. It wasn't just me talking in dead silence when I wasn't talking. I'm gonna flip my chicken, get some good color, and that backside and that little bubble kind of start to cook and relax a little bit. Should be good stuff. Hopefully people can see that yogurt is starting to emulsify a little bit into the sauce. I can't tell because my angle is rough. And well, oh man, it smells really good in here. I recommend serving this dish with rice. We're gonna go up. Ooh, we lost some people. People got tired of me talking. I get it. And this is a great dish with rice or naan. I don't know how to make naan. I don't have the right kind of oven. I buy naan because it's easier to buy good naan. Naan and rice. I recommend a rice cooker. If you don't have a rice cooker, there's a couple. If you're really confident in your stove game, utilize that stove cooking. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think that burners are way too variable in how we do things in home kitchens, especially. Electric burner is so much different than a gas range, and each gas range in a home residential situation is different because the gas levels are different, and how the range is set up and how it feeds gas to the burners. I don't like to mess with it. I either go with a rice cooker, which one of the best investments you can make because you can make yogurt in it. You can cook rice, quinoa, farro. You can use it as a slow cooker depending on the kind you buy. Another really good way that I recommend is an oven cooking. A little more consistent, a little more tried and true. Yes, it does. It does work really well for non-bread. Fred, you're correct. I still will just buy it though because I'm lazy. There's a good Indian spot in town I get mine from now. Oven cooking for rice. I will bring my liquid up to a boil. So stock, water, coconut milk, whatever you're kind of looking to use, and whatever. Like I add a little bit of butter to mine. And if you're adding any spice, you're gonna add some cumin. You're gonna add some lime. You're gonna add tomato product for doing Spanish rice. Bring that up to a boil. Have your rice rinse. Rinse it 3 or 4 times or more, depending on what kind of rice you're buying, what your application is going to be. And you're rinsing it in a strainer, a fine mesh strainer, so you don't lose the rice grains through the strainer. So not like a colander for pasta. And you want it to run, the water to run clear when you're done rinsing it. So you have this, it's running all the starches that rub off in the bag. So when you package rice, it's always rubbing up on each other, and it's releasing starches from the rice, and it's just this. Every rice grain is covered in starch dust, and that's when you get those like really weird gummy, inconsistently cooked rice, is because you're not rinsing it. So rinsing that rice ahead of time will help get a nice, really separate kernel and like help your end product out a lot. For the short grain rice, going. That's a good dad joke. I like that, Terry. If you're gonna do like Japanese cuisine, you're looking for like sticky rice 7 to 8 times is what they recommend. I usually do 2 or 3 for just general home use. I'm gonna probably use some jasmine rice. Basmati is what we would traditionally serve with this, but I have a lot of jasmine rice because I found a bulk pack at Sam's, and that's what we eat at the house right now. And I like the perfume that the jasmine adds to the rice. I think it's a nice flavor that complements well with what this dish is going to bring to the table. So I bring my liquid up. When you rinse it, you don't need as much water. So when you are making, you just open up a box or a bag of rice, and you pour it right in. It calls for 1.5 or even sometimes 2 times the amount of water to rice. When you're rinsing it, it's about 1.25 water to rice ratio. That is what I found to be most consistent. So 1.25 cups to a cup of rice. I will bring that to a simmer or a boil, and then I'll pour it over my rice in a pan. I'll cover it with foil, or I'll put it into that same boiling pot, cover that foil, and go into a 350-degree oven for roughly 45 minutes till all the moisture is evaporated and been absorbed into the rice, and the rice is tender. Now bring it out. I'll let it sit covered for about 10 minutes on the top of the range with the oven off, and I'll let it kind of carry over, and like the rest of the moisture to relax and equalize and stabilize in the pot. And then I'll fork or spoon or whatever I'm using. I'll either serve it out or I'll fluff it so that you kind of release that grains a little bit. Recommend that. It will change your rice game up. Wild rice is a whole new place. Wild rice isn't rice. Wild rice is like, there's a grain, but it's grass. Making sure to, I'm gonna flip my chicken a little bit because we don't have as much liquid. I'm now going to add a little more chicken stock. I think that I'm a little light. I just want to make sure I have good coverage and get my chicken cooked all the way. It'd be a really rough stream if I cooked raw chicken and said that that's what you guys need to do. Ooh. So have our chicken skin starting to come together really nice. We got hopefully we have some good color there, really nice. At this point, I would have some paper towels ready to go to collect the excess fat from the chicken skin. And we pull it out, let it drain, rest, and we'll sprinkle a little bit of salt, and we'll call it a fun chip to enjoy. So chicken's cooking nicely. Sauce is coming around. Everything's smelling really good. I don't know about tasting because I don't taste things once I put raw chicken in because I don't want to die or get sick or any of these things. And at this point, you can start thinking about what the next steps are. So for us, we're gonna have a little bit of garnish, cilantro. I like having a little bit of fresh cilantro leaf as garnish on most things because it's one of my favorite things to eat. If you are one of those people who have the aversion to the cilantro that makes it taste like soap, green onions will work really well here. I think basil, like a Thai basil or a regular basil, would also be really fun, or even mint would be fun here as well. Just something that, or even just fresh parsley also would work really well. Whatever soft herb that you prefer outside of that soapy cilantro, having that ready, getting this time could be spent getting your rice done, drinking more, taking turns not trying to kill your kids because you can't get away from them ever. These are all really good things to be doing while your chicken is cooking. So I'm going to pull my chicken skin. I know you can't see them, but I'm going to let them rest over here. I'm going to turn the burner off. Drain the fat and put that in the sink to deal with later. I've never used this product before. I'm going to try tomato paste in a tube. All you can usually get is those cans that are like 4.5 ounces. I don't need that much tomato paste, but I want to get use out of this longer than just the one time. So I'm going to try the tube out, and hopefully this will work really good because we can reseal it and put it in the fridge and maybe get a couple other uses out of it moving forward. Pour more beer because beer is delicious. Smoked some tri-tip today. Pretty excited to eat that tomorrow. Make a little Santa Maria style tri-tip sandwiches. Smoke togarashi from, because togarashi is amazing. A little house-made leek powder. Horseradish mayonnaise, a little white cheddar. It's me a nice little sandwich. I won't post pictures. I'm just gonna eat it all. So have a pretty good summer going on. This is probably a little more aggressive than you want at the house. You probably want to go a little bit lighter. You want to go closer to a light bubble across the board. I'm trying to accelerate so that we can enjoy. It's a good call, Fred. In the future, Fred, I will have you on. You can help me with that good content right there, Fred. Maybe I'll have a script for these shows too. I kind of am just winging it now, thinking I can figure it out, but I feel like I might need a little bit of assistance. So at this point, I feel like the chicken's getting close. I want to taste and see where we're at flavor-wise. Oh, it tastes so good. I actually have an Instant thermometer. So we're like halfway. We're we're like 110-ish, if you can see that, 112. I'm a fan of the instant reads. I think they work a little bit better than the traditional like mercury or the dial. Those take too long. I don't like how they work. They fall out of calibration literally by dropping them, adjusting them poorly. Not just can't support that. So at this point, we feel pretty good about where I'm at with the chicken. I'm going to add in this tomato paste. It's a good color. And the heavy cream. There is a really good version of this recipe on Milk Street. It's Christopher Kimball is the editor and whatever. It's on PBS. He used to do America's Test Kitchen. Big fan of that program. Milk Street is like a really fun program that I've been watching and reading lately. He had an issue, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago where he did butter chicken, or the magazine. I don't know if he actually did it per se, but they did butter chicken, but they did it in a little bit lighter because this can get pretty fatty, high fat calorie, really quickly. Obviously, heavy cream, full fat Greek yogurt. It tastes really good, but it's super good for this. But they did a light version where it was like marinated roasted, and then they made a little light yogurt sauce to garnish it with, and I thought that was really cool. I wanted to go with this version because I want to, and it's good. So the cream is also going to help as a nice binder for that yogurt. We can even hopefully tell by now that the yogurt sauce, is starting to kind of come together with the cream. The texture on the chicken is starting to come together. Feeling pretty good about that. It's getting a lot more firm. Got some good cooking going on. We're getting close on our time and temperature. I'm going to taste again with my rinse spoon. Kind of has very similar qualities to pollo alla crema. If you've ever had that sour cream sauce from a Mexican restaurant I used to work at when I was a lot younger. Sour cream and chicken and peppers has a very similar flavor to that, but Indian, I guess. So I'm gonna let that simmer. I'm gonna come up here and we're kind of just talk about what next, how everybody's doing. How's everybody doing? Having fun? Enjoying the stream? My wonderful content? I'm thinking I like the idea of the chop thing for next week. So I'm thinking I'm going to set up, like I said earlier, a poll with 4 or 5 proteins that, like what Carrie said, like lamb steak, or what are those random like oxtail or tripe. We could do a whole episode on tripe if we want. We'll make some menudo. Be good times. Hangover food, best cure ever. I'll put a couple weird outliers if people really want to see me kind of sweat through it, and I'll put a couple like more tried and true for stuff that you might actually try to make at home. And then once you have a protein set, then I'll select like 6 vegetables and 4 starches or whatever. We'll kind of see salt pork. I can do salt pork, dude. I can do salt pork. Probably very breakfast heavy, but salt pork, good stuff. I made the mistake when I was first getting into cooking, thinking salt pork was pork belly. Don't make that mistake. It braised into a very salty, disgusting mess that I threw away after trying to eat it. It was good stuff. Don't recommend that. And then I won't have a recipe. You guys want to cook along. You just have to watch and hopefully utilize the chat function to mock and ridicule me while I try and figure out what we're going to do on stream. I like that. I like the feedback. I like that give and take. Not like kid and play, Terry. But I want to have fun with it. Let's just use this as a fun space to go where I try to cook and show you guys something fun, but also try to do new things and just, I don't know, kick it. Maybe we can also do some grilling. I'll try and figure if I can do some outdoor stuff if the weather's nice. More Korean dishes. Yeah, we can do some Korean food. All about Korean food. I can see if I can get Mr. Olenek here on another cam that we can maybe port in if I could figure that shit out. And he can talk about his kimchi because his kimchi is amazing. He makes really good kimchi. But then we'll also can maybe make some bibimbap, or we can do some. I think we'll do pho next because I like making a pho. We'll talk about pho broth. We'll talk about kimchi fermentation. I think pho is a really easy thing to make at home, but it seems really, dude, it's super good. Come on. I think we'll do pho. So we'll do chop challenge next week, and you guys can watch me sweat. But I think in 2 weeks we're gonna do pho because I will always eat pho. I eat pho like once a week anyway here, and it's super easy to make at home. Like you can make it in batches. The pho broth, rice noodles keep forever, literally forever. And then all you're doing is just kind of shopping for a little bit of garnish. So if you have some of those pantry items that are on the Facebook page that Jen, shout out to Jen. I don't know if she's in the stream right now, but Jen's awesome. Excuse me, she's been helping out. If you've been to any of my dinners or Too Fat Justin dinners, she's been the photographer at our events. She's been helping me in the back end with some of this editing and some of the more social media aspect because this is not what I do real well. And she's been a really key piece. Ramen episode a couple weeks ago. So using some of those items, you make your pho bomb. And so I'll make some dope pho. So we'll do pho because I'll be wearing my pho shirt again. Yeah, I have this shirt. Ethan bought the same shirt. And we sometimes wear samesies because what else the fuck we gotta do? It's not like we could leave the house or go and do anything anymore. Well, let's take a look at the chicken because we're getting some color and some smells and some. So this is a nice color. It's a really great orange. If you want a little bit more red, hit with that more tomato paste. That's where you're gonna get your color from. You want more heat, now's the time to add some chili powder, or you can add some flake or some hot sauce or whatever you're looking for. Do what you need to do. Or when you reheat it or you finish it, garnish with those things that help with that flavor. I'm gonna take one more attempt, make sure we are where we need to be. Because again, if you're making this to am I gone? I'm still live. Am I still live? It says I'm live. Damn it. Currently, son and wife are streaming things upstairs, so my shit's not gonna be great. We're gonna work on it. If this continues to go well, I will try to bump my Comcast upload to something a little bit bigger to handle the upload that we're doing with the streaming. I'm not sure what the bandwidth restrictions are getting me, but we're going to figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll work on our upload. We'll work on our connectivity, because when I'm doing these streams, family goes upstairs and plays video games and streams stuff on TV and stuff, and I think that we are exhausting the bandwidth a little bit in the house. And I don't have a great upload to begin with, so I have to adjust that. I'll deal with that. That's back end shit. So chicken is 168 degrees and climbing. I've turned it down to low to let it just kind of carry and finish. This is a great point too. We can add our cilantro leaves in. If we're going to serve right now, we could add that cilantro right into it over that steamed rice you made in your oven or your rice cooker or your pot, if you are that confident and comfortable with your shit. Add, I don't know. For me, I probably add just maybe a little more heat, a little bit of hot sauce, a little bit of chili, and some rice. Going back to our chicken chips. Look at these. They're like bomb. Like they're crunchy and they're crispy. They're a great snack. They're also, you can chop them up and put them in garnish. Yes, it calls for almonds. I just realized I forgot almonds. Nobody caught it, but I caught it. Should be finishing the sauce with almonds. When I reheat this for lunch this week, I'll throw in some ground almond to it. This will freeze really, really well in delis, vacuum bags, whatever you have in the house. Keep, put in the freezer, date it, pull it out, throw it in the microwave, let it sit in the fridge. Like, just let it come up naturally and thaw. It's super good. I love this dish. It already tastes really good. I'm really excited to eat it this week for lunch. So I think we're kind of winding down a little bit. I want to thank all y'all for coming. I want to thank Hogshead for not sponsoring the stream, but for sponsoring my drinking on the stream. I want to thank Sai and for some of the beers that he may or may not have dropped off my house from a socially appropriate distance away. You're a bro. And I want to thank everybody for coming here. Like I really love doing these. Like I didn't realize this is what I wanted to do for fun, but man, I really fucking love this. This is a lot of fun. I say a lot, but I'm still working on the talking to a camera, and hopefully we'll get better at that. If not, I'll just keep watching other streams and get better from there. Throw ideas, feedback in the comments on the YouTube video, on the Facebook page, on Instagram. Text me. Most of you have my number as it is. Like, hit me up. Tell me what I can do better, so I can bring you better content, bring you better stuff that you're spending your time watching and enjoying. But love you guys. I really appreciate this. We'll continue to grow and have fun. Adulthood. Now, I just talk to my face. I'm just talking to me all the time, Terry. Right here. This guy right there. So, wrap up. Shit's bomb. Hopefully, whoever requested last week was in stream. I don't think Kramer was, but his loss, right? You have to watch the VOD. Hope to see you again next week, Friday night. Happy hour on Zoom. We're just going to stick with Zoom. Fuck the rest of it. Zoom worked out really well last night. Let's drink, bottle share, make weird jokes about Terry's hair, and now Adam has to go shit on the screen to do it. It's good times. I made this is not a kid's stream, Adam, so I don't feel bad. And then Saturday night, 6 o'clock, we'll do this, and we'll go chop Justin's life up in a cooking stream. So in the interim, have a great week. Be safe. Be socially distant, yet still distant or close or whatever. Drink lots of good beer, and I will see you on the flip. And enjoy your week, y'all.